One of the more powerful tools inside of DRS is our stabilization tool. I use it all the time based on the camera motion data that was originally captured for a particular shot. And in this case, I want to go into our stabilization tool and I want to, instead of tracking manually, I actually want to use that auto stabilization information that came from the camera motion analysis. So if I show the graph here for that, I can actually bring up these particular curves where I have already analyzed the camera motion data, but now I want to use that motion data to apply it towards stabilization. So I'm going to click on this green region here, and I'm going to come over here and enable that on my particular curve. And I want to say ripple that across the other low motion static portions of our particular camera motion analysis. So in this case, the static curves here, I've actually selected them and I've rippled them across. I want to reach over into my low motion section here. I want to also enable that. And I see there's a couple of other low motion curves up there as well. I'm going to select those and ripple those. And then in my particular high motion area, sometimes when you're doing stabilization and there's high camera pan motion, you don't want to actually apply the stabilization at that point because you can wind up moving the camera too far and it looks worse. So I'm going to actually not select that. I'm just going to lock that region there. So I have all my curves enabled or not enabled or selected. So I've actually told it what I want to do. And then from there, we're going to come down here. Let's go ahead and ask it to analyze it and render that stabilization. So what it's going to do initially now is it's going to go through, it's taking that camera motion data, both the static motion, the low motion, and even the high motion, which we're not asking into effect. And it's using the camera analysis data to apply that to stabilize the image, much like we used in DWarp to actually use tracking to register and reframe the picture. We're utilizing the camera motion data to do the same thing. It's locking in on a point that's going to stay there and actually register that based on the camera speed and the camera motion throughout this particular shot. This is extremely useful in rendering out and applying stabilization and even deflicker to a shot before you go into your debris tool, because those motions can affect how it actually enablizes the repair from one frame to the next when picking up and repairing and fixing this type of debris, which is the goal we really want to achieve for this particular shot, is getting rid of all that dirt and debris. But we'll use the analysis of the stabilization to now correct it. So we analyzed it. Now it's going to go through and render this. And here where it's asked to do nothing, it'll go real fast. And now it's applying the data from the low and static motion elements to this particular clip. So if we hide that now, put this up here, you can actually see, if I look at the sort of split screen view on this, that I have one shot that's, sort of jerking unstable here. Let's maybe make it a little easier to see. We'll put it over. I'll rotate this just so that you can see. Let's put this up here. On the edge here, so we can see the difference between these two when I play it. So the one's motion, this one's nice and stable. So applying stabilization to a shot is pretty straightforward. We utilized our camera motion information, we rendered out the shot, and now we have stabilized this particular sequence here. The next thing I would want to do is apply a deflicker to this to actually get rid of that before I actually, again, use my debris tool. But these are the tools inside of DRS Nova, and that is how you use stabilization using the camera tracking data. Thank you.